Finally, something happened. Something finally happened. Been waiting all day. All day. Been waiting for a couple of weeks, actually. Yes, welcome into the Knicks-Verse Breaking News Live report. Just about an hour ago, Woj dropped the bomb, and let's go. Here it is. The Knicks are trading Cam Reddish and a protected future first-round pick to the Blazers for Hart. Sources tell ESPN. Below, there was a retweet of his other tweet. The Trailblazers are trading Josh Hart to the Knicks. Sources tell ESPN. All right, before we get into all of this and break it down for you guys, welcome. And please subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit the thumbs up button for me. And definitely drop your comments, especially later on. If you're watching this later on and you have some thoughts, other ideas about what the Knicks might actually do, because we're going to talk about there might be some more moves. I mean, this may not just be it. It's possible it may be it, because this was the bare minimum. They were going to trade Cam Reddish. They were going to do something with Cam Reddish. And if they couldn't find the right trade, I think they were even going to cut him at some point. So I'm glad that they were able to get something back for him. So we'll discuss whether they paid too much. We shall see. We shall see. Shout out to the chat. Welcome, everybody. Jose Castillo, Giz, Bowen Chen, good to see you, brother. Geraldine McIver, good to see you. Johnny Davis, Lex the Destroyer, best mod around. Thank you so much for joining me, brother. James E. Moore. We got Foxy's in the house. What's up, Foxy? Good to see you, brother. And we got Bob Chamberlain. Good to see you, man. Brunson was so hyped when he heard. Really, was he? I didn't see all that. I was preparing all the materials. I didn't see if he heard. But I did see this. This is interesting. Well, before we get to that, let me show you this here. Ian Begley then followed up the tweet and says, to make money work in Josh Hart deal, Knicks are sending Ryan Arcianato, I can never pronounce his last name, and Svi to Portland. New York Knicks was just short of threshold for deal, so needed to include Arcianato per source, ESPN first on players. So there you go. We have now basically cleared our bench, right there, and brought in Josh Hart. We traded away 3 players that we weren't really utilizing, and now we've brought somebody who has been primarily a starter, if I recall. He's primarily been a starter, so this is going to be interesting. I'm sure you guys are wondering what his role is going to be, whether he's going to be a starter on this team. I will say right now, I believe that he will not begin as a starter. No. Right now, the Knicks are kicking ass. We've beaten 5 teams that are above us, and I don't see 4 teams that are above us, and I just don't see that Thibodeau trying to mess with that right away. So, but it will if he holds firm to the 9-man rotation, then it might mean that Deuce's minutes are what gets reduced. Now, I don't see him taking Deuce out completely, because we know Thibs loves his defense, but which makes it even more important for Deuce. If he keeps getting minutes, he needs to be able to at least give us some kind of point production, because we know what he can do on defense. So he's got to keep giving us some kind of point production. I would like to see Thibs expand the rotation to 10 for a while and see how things shake out. And who knows? This might reinvigorate Hart. Excuse me. It might reinvigorate him, and he may end up taking over the starting position from Quentin Grimes. I don't know, but we'll see. Excuse me. Another Villanova is interesting. We traded a Wildcat for a Wildcat, and now look at those two right there. They won a championship together. Not saying they're going to win one together here in New York this year, but it sure would be nice. Josh Hart is a quality role player. He has a lot of intangibles. He's a tremendous rebounder. He battles. He's physically. He's a very physical defender. And he can defend several positions. He can even defend the 1, the 2, and the 3. Sorry, I really haven't even talked much today. until just now. So it's all kind of like loosening up. And he really, I mean, let's check out his stats. Well, before we do that, look at this. I saw this. This was a great tweet. Blazers finding out Josh Hart got traded. I think this is actually true. Not like a mock. There they are looking at it, and there's Hart and Dame paying their goodbyes. From what I've heard, he's an excellent person. He's a great teammate. Teams always like him on their squad, so he's gonna be another quality character guy to add to our squad, which we have several quality character guys at the moment. So that's a nice addition. Cam Reddish, he's gone. He's no longer a Knick, and it was an odd year for him. He looked pretty miserable in that last game against Orlando, actually last night. He looked pretty miserable on the bench. Just a few glimpses that I caught of him. He must have known that this was probably his last game as a Knick. And even though he wanted to play, even though he had his issues with the way Thibs was using him, I'm sure it's bittersweet. I'm sure there's some sadness there. He's leaving his Dookie friend, RJ. He probably had wished he had been able to, I bet he wishes he had been given a better, a more sustained opportunity to really contribute to the team. And I can't disagree with him. Those are some of the issues with Thibs. He's limited when it comes to that. So, and he was never really on board with bringing Cam onto this team. So, end to that story. We got rid of a protected first and Knox to bring Cam, and now we're attaching another protected first with three players actually, Cam himself, to bring in Josh Hart. Now, Josh Hart is a bona fide. He's a 5-year player. He's been a starter for the last 3 seasons. He is a quality addition to this team. We've just upped the overall talent in the rotation of this team, and that is a positive. There's no doubt that that's a positive, and it's just how the minutes are going to be divvied up is what's really going to be interesting. But I don't think anything's going to happen right away drastically. I don't feel that way. Let me check in on the chat, see how it's going over here. Let's see what we got going here. Jose Castillo says, I am happy with the trade. I think Hart plays hard and fits Thibodeau's system well. NASA from NYC says, lottery protected first turns into 4 seconds if not conveyed this year. Interesting. I don't know if it was our pick? That I haven't gotten the details on yet. Or is it one of the other protected picks that we have? But from what NASA is saying here, it sounds like it's our 2023 pick. So I don't know. We'll get confirmation on that as the night goes on. Lex the Destroyer says, hope Cam thrives in Portland. So do I. I hope he really does. He deserves it. He really does. I feel a little short right now. My camera fell backwards and right as I was about to start, and then I had to readjust it, so I don't think it's quite makes me look like a shorty. And Blue Cheer is not happy. He says, boo, not a Hart fan. Interesting. Did he beat you in poker one night? You guys were playing together or something? Interesting. How he seems like he's just a good rotation piece. Is he really exciting? No, he's not that exciting. The thing is, apparently there's what's going around is that lately, I haven't watched Josh Hart play much this season, but I have in the past. And he was a Laker before, so I watched him when he was with the Lakers. It seems like he's developed a bad habit of turning down open threes. Now that's something he will have to change if he wants to stay in this rotation. So, I could also, just to be honest with you, knowing Thibs, I could see this barely impacting the rotation. If Hart comes in and doesn't really adopt his role, doesn't pick up the schemes fast enough, and passes up on open threes, I could see his minutes getting limited if the other guys are continuing to thrive. Guys like Grimes and Deuce. And even Fournier of late, when he's gotten the nod, I mean, look what he did recently, against the Sixers. He was outstanding. He was one of the key reasons we were able to beat the Sixers. So it's interesting. We don't. There's no givens. There's no 100% here. And we saw how Thibs treated Cam, though I do believe that this trade was most likely done with Thibs' blessing. I highly doubt that Leon would ever go through that again, bringing in somebody who, that Thibs is not on board with. Let's see. We got Prezi the boss. Do you think there will be more trades by tomorrow? Well, the thing is, if this trade had been done without Cam, then I would say absolutely 100%, because the Cam trade is the trade that had to happen. So it happened. Now, what would be the next move? I think there will be some additions, because now we're going to be short. Our roster's short. We just depleted it 3-1. So we're down 2. So we will be adding some players, whether it will be through trades or not. We'll see. I mean, there was discussions of Grayson Allen. There's been discussions. Now, also interestingly, that this trade came down about 2 hours after the big 3-way trade with the Lakers and the Timberwolves and Utah Jazz, where Malik Beasley and Vanderbilt, who were rumored to be of interest to the Knicks, they're gone. So those were two players that were on the list. So they're gone. So let's see who else is out there other than Grayson Allen. Well, there's also talks of Derrick Rose in the Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks have interest in him. That would be an excellent landing spot for him. He'll get a chance to compete for a ring with the Milwaukee Bucks. So if doesn't have a home, he doesn't have a place on this rotation, I would like to see Rose go to the Bucks. So that's a trade that might happen. But in terms of any other bigger trades, I mean, there's always a possibility that the Knicks do bring in some big man insurance. Remember, look what happened with Hart yesterday. He picked up those 5 fouls really fast. Sims did step up, which was fantastic. But Sims had 2 previous games that were subpar for him. And, when we get into foul trouble and we're battling these teams that have some big lineups, we need fouls. We need big man fouls to burn. And we know that Thibs doesn't want to play Obi and Julius together much at all, if at all. So I do think there might be a trade for a big man of some kind to bring onto this roster. Would I like it to be like a Mo Bamba? Hell yeah. Like a real bona fide flex 5, a stretch 5? Yes, I definitely. He's more of a stretch 5 than a flex 5. But yeah, I would definitely like to see like a Mo Bamba, especially with that right hook he's got. Let's see here. G. Lloyd says the first round pick is the issue. We gave a 2 first round picks for a rotational player at best. That is a disgrace. Yeah, we'll see. It's definitely a sticking point. Not sure what it is yet. We'll see. We'll have to find out. If you guys hear for sure, just drop it in the chat if any news comes out exactly explaining what pick is. Right now it just says a future protected first round pick. Let's see. Hart has started at small forward this entire season. He's one of the Blazers' best defenders. He's a fierce competitor and definitely one of his best rebounders. And according to the Athletic here, last month, Coach Chauncey Billups called him our heart and soul. So that's a good addition to bring onto this team. Let's see here. I think the Portland had to make this trade because of money. And Cam goes off the books this season, so that's probably what the main desire was in unloading him there. Let me just check right now, Twitter, if there's been any news on the actual before we get to the breakdown of the trade in deep. An important reason the Knicks... Oh, here, according to Fred Katz, tweeted this out, an important reason the Knicks protected this pick so unusually. All right, so the protected first round pick the Knicks are sending to Portland in the Josh Hart trade is their 2023 number one pick. League sources have said. It's a lottery protected in 2023 and turns into 4 second rounders if it doesn't convey this year. Okay, interesting. So if we make the playoffs, then they get the pick. That's what it comes down to. But remember, we still have additional. We have the Wizards pick, and we have the Pistons pick. So, we still have some first round picks. The Mavericks pick. The Mavericks pick now with Kyrie there, it's definitely going to convey over to us. There's no doubt. They're definitely going to get into the playoffs. So we still have the Dallas Mavericks pick. And when you look at the standings and everything, that pick wouldn't be necessarily much better than ours. Or ours wouldn't be much better than theirs at this point if we end up staying in the 6th seed. So, it hurts a little bit. But if something happens and there's a collapse or something, and we do end up in the lottery, let's say we don't get the 6th seed, we end up 7th seed, and for some reason, barring unusual situation, I don't want to say the word, but let's say certain key players can't play, and we lose in the play-in, then we hold on to our pick, and then they get the 4 second rounders. So in that respect, it wouldn't be such a terrible situation. So here, then Fred Cass went on to explain it further. In an important reason the Knicks protected this pick so unusually, teams are not allowed to go without first-round picks in consecutive seasons, a rule in place to save them from themselves. But because the Knicks own the Mavs' 23 first-rounder, and because that pick is only top 10 protected and thus extremely likely to convey, they would still probably be able to trade their 2024 first rounder in a trade this summer, which means if a star trade arises this offseason, they'll have their full allotment of 4 firsts to trade. That's the advantage of trading your most immediate pick. Then you don't have to sit there and wait to see if it's going to convey, and that kind of freezes your other picks in a big star trade. So now that's going to be gone away. We will definitely have a resolution to who will own this pick by the end of the season, by the end of the regular season. Yeah. Let's see. What do we else? Yes, Jonathan Cruz. That's right. New York's 2023 lottery protected. He's their heart. Blue Cheers like he's their heart and soul, so they trade him. Yeah, right. It's money, man. It comes down to money. Jeremy Grant's contract. Portland. There's only so much money to go around on that team, and Josh Hart, I believe, is on the books for an additional 2 seasons. In fact, let's confirm this. I wanted to confirm that before we got going. You guys, tell me something. Let's see. I'm going to drop a poll here. Do we like this trade? All right, I dropped a poll there. I want to hear what you guys think about whether you like this trade. Josh Hart's contract. Okay, his current contract, he signed a 3-year, $37.92 million contract with the New Orleans Pelicans. That was 2 seasons ago. So he, I see. All right. So he has a player option. He has a player option for next season for about $13 million, $12.96, and it's most likely he'll pick up that option. But then again, you never know. The Knicks could renegotiate. Let's say he comes on this team and he really delivers. So the Knicks could renegotiate with him for that extent, for that option year. Maybe give him 2 more years or something. I think that would probably be a smart move. That way, make him a little more tradable. And also, remember when you're still star hunting, you need sizable contracts to be able to send back the other way. And Josh Hart would be a very appealing sizable contract. In fact, he's been that kind of guy before in the past. That's how I think he ended up with the Pelicans to begin with. So from the Lakers. So that's interesting. Let's see. Just traded. So he was traded to Portland from the Pelicans with Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Tomas Satoransky in exchange for C.J. McCollum. See? So he was already sent to Portland in exchange for C.J. McCollum. So he might be another trade chip that Leon is acquiring to send elsewhere for when the Phoenix Suns implode in the playoffs and Devin Booker asks to be traded to New York. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Let's check this out. So this is Josh Hart's this is his stats, his bio here. He's 6'4", 6'5"-ish. He's 27 years old. He's been in the league for 5 years. He's a Villanova guy. Right now, this season, he's averaging 9.5 points per game. But look at the rebounds, 8.2 rebounds. He would be the number 2 or number 3 rebounder on the Knicks immediately. Almost 4 assists per game. His PI 9.5, just short of the double digits. 10 is like where you want to be. But he's very close right there. These are his career stats. As you can see in 2021-22, it's combined between Pelicans and Portland. He averaged almost 15 points per game last season in 33 minutes per game. This season, he's averaging more minutes per game, but he's shooting less. He's only putting up 7 field goal attempts per game, but he's shooting 50.4% overall, and he shot 50.4% last season. Now, the three-point shooting is a concern. As you can see, he's never been a high-volume three-point shooter, except for his rookie year. He shot almost 40% when he was with the Lakers. I remember that season, 2017, 2018. I think he overlapped with Julius Randle during that season. But you can see he's more around 33.6, 34.4, 32.6. And then last season, he averaged 34.3. His three-point shooting went up when he got traded from the Pelicans to the Trailblazers. But he only finished their 13 games. And then this season, he's only averaging 30.4%. So if he's not making three-point shots, that's where he may not get as many minutes as you think on this team, if you're concerned by that. If you're concerned by him disrupting our rotation. So he's going to definitely have to up his three-point production. But, man, can that guy rebound? Look at him. He's career high right now, 8.2 in rebounding. For the past couple of seasons, he's averaged about 4 assists. So the guy can move the ball, and he's a tenacious defender. And here's one thing I really like about him. He gets a lot of steals. Last season, he averaged 1.1 steals per game, and he's averaging that again this season. So, nice. I mean, he's a quality rotation piece. Am I jumping for joy? No. Am I upset about this trade? No. We had to do something with Cam, and he fit, and Josh Hart fits the mold of a Thibodeau guy. He's a wing. He's not as big a wing as we want. I'd rather have a 6'7" type wing, but he is tough as nails. And he's a tenacious defender. Here, let's look at his advanced splits here. This year, he is actually plus in net rating, a plus 3.3. Offensive rating is 117.8 when he's on the court, and defensive rating is 114.5, which 114.5 is a little bit high-ish. But that team plays with a much faster pace, so there is much more scoring on that squad. But his net rating is a positive 3.3. And let's see here. I have to go to my glasses. His assist percentage. I don't know what was on my glasses there. Let's see. His offensive rebounding percentage 5.8. That's pretty decent for a guard. Very nice. His true shooting is 58.6, which would be his second highest. Oh no, third highest of his career. His rookie year, he came out like he was shooting really well. His rookie year. Last season, he averaged 61% for his true shooting. His field goal percentage is 56.9% last season. This season is at 55.1. So the shooting is down. Shooting is down from last season. Let's see if maybe that's something that the team can fix here on this end. But he's definitely going to have to take open threes when he's got them. Sometimes, maybe there's I don't know. I haven't tracked him that much. I don't know if he's was suffering from an injury or something, and maybe that's affected his shooting. Hard to say. But he's quality. Look at him. I mean, his defensive rating as a rookie, 108.3, then 104.7. Then in 2019, 2020, 111.2, a first year with the Pelicans. Then 112.1 in 2020-21. Then last season, he averaged a 113.2, which is very good for a guard. That's decent. So this guy is going to give us that defensive presence in the bench, and he is going to continue to add to our rebounding advantage that we have. I mean, one of the main reasons we win is we just out-rebound people, and we don't turn the ball over. Now, he is a little bit turnover-prone from what I've seen. He's a little bit turnover-prone. He averaged last season 2.1 turnovers per game with 4.1 assists, so it's almost a 2-to-1. This season, he's improved. He's cut his turnovers down, only 1.5, and he's averaging almost 4 assists, so that's good. That's a positive. The Knicks win. So this guy, it's interesting because I was last night. I was looking at all the team stats and everything, analyzing them, and it was easy to see. Now it's easy to see why he's added to this team. Let's see here. So the Knicks in turnovers, we are averaging only 13 turnovers per game, which is the fourth best in the entire NBA. It's the fourth lowest in the entire NBA. And then when it comes down to, assists, we're 28th. We're down 22.6 assists. So he's a decent assist guy. So that's going to help improve that weakness on our end. 3-point percentage, he's not going to help us with that. Right now we're at 34.4%, which is 23rd in the NBA. So he's not going to help us with that unless he gets it together. Let's see what else was here. I thought I pulled off some other stats here. Oh, well. I'm in favor. I'm happy with it. Let's see. Let's see what the poll says here. Majority says yes. We got over almost 100 votes. 73% think yes. All right, I'm going to leave it up. We got over 250 in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the thumbs up button for me and share the video and tell your friends and Knicks fans you know about Into the Knicks-Verse. And definitely drop your comments later if you think of anything else that I may have overlooked. Because Thibs wants to play Luau Dang. Joseph A. That's funny. Blue Cheer says Cam never got a fair shot. Yep, that is right. That is right. King Bernard, let's go. What's up, El Marshall? Chris Dada, good to see you, brother. Give the Fire Thibs talk a rest. He's locked in. Enjoy. Yeah, I mean, that ship has sailed. I talked about that a couple of weeks ago. We've crossed the Rubicon. Now Thibs is our general. He's here for the remainder of this campaign. Depending on how things go in the next 27 games or so and the playoffs, we will revisit the Thibodeau situation. But this is exactly the type of move that was made for Thibs, whereby the Cam move wasn't. And one of the major fears that I was having was that the Knicks might make a bigger move that was more for a Thibs type guy, and we'd sacrifice some of our youth and get a little older, and that's not where I wanted to be. So this is a nice hybrid type situation where he's 27, so he's not that young, but he's not plus is 30 or plus. He's only been in the league 5 seasons, and he already has connections with other players on the team. And he's a quality guy, and he's a tenacious defender, so he's gonna fit in very, very well. And this actually might make Grimes, even though Grimes doesn't need further motivation, but nothing makes you get up out of your seat more than a hot one. So he might start feeling the pressure a little bit, and hopefully it'll make him play even better. Because I want to see a more aggressive Grimes, especially shooting from the outside. I want to see that more. And this could also impact RJ as well. Because, RJ defensively, we all know he needs to step it up. Now, he's gotten a lot of criticism lately, but as you saw in that fourth quarter, he did step up his defense. He was one of the key reasons we got several stops in that fourth quarter when we needed them. He played some night. He closed out hard on Franz Wagner at one point, even though Wagner was definitely hurting him. He did get hurt late in the fourth quarter with a Wagner move, but then he guarded Banchero twice. And one time he forced him to take a bad shot, and the other time he poked the ball out of his hands as he was going under the basket, and it went right to Brunson. Brunson ended up getting credited with the steal, but it was initiated by RJ. So RJ's going to have to step up his defense, and this could help. This could really help light that fire for him. See, Jonathan Cruz says, Hart is a CAA guy, Villanova connection, and Thibs guy. He isn't a flight risk, is OG, as OG is. OG, yeah. OG definitely, the more that I read about the whole OG situation and dove deeper into it, even after I put out the other video announcing the Knicks' initial interest in him, it seemed like he definitely wants to find out what free agency has to offer him. So we'd basically be bringing him here and trading a lot of assets, and we would have very little control over him. One season is not enough for three first-round picks, whatever they ended up being, and any other players. So I was not happy about that situation. But if we could have gotten him for a good deal, I was all down for it. So in that situation, that is correct. We have this guy. Let's see here. Kuzma's next. Cristado. Yeah, we want all the ex-Lakers now. King Bernard says, some say this means RJ if gone this summer. I don't think so. I think those concerns are they're not real. They're not real. RJ's here, and RJ the only way RJ's getting traded is for like a Donovan Mitchell. That's it. RJ's not getting traded for like an OG kind of guy, because OG doesn't give you necessarily offensive punch or even the playmaking that RJ gives you. Does he give you the defense? Absolutely. But it's more of a lateral move, and OG's hit his ceiling already offensively. I don't think RJ has even come close to his ceiling yet. I mean, he's averaging 20 points per game the past 2 seasons. I think this guy can average 25. So I'm not sure the Knicks are ready to give up on RJ unless it is for a big name, big ticket item. Big ticket. We need a big ticket in here. Hey, but you know what? We may not even need a big ticket right now. We may not. There is a thought that right now, realistically, the guy wearing the number 1 jersey in that photo is playing like a number 1. He is playing like a bona fide superstar at the moment. I mean, you saw what he did last night. That guy is cold, brutal. Like, teams fear him when he has the ball in his hands. And Randall, we know he's mistake prone. We know he slips in key moments. We know he still bounces the ball on his foot, but he also has been looking looking to make the right play, finding the right guy on the perimeter, finding a Grimes out on the perimeter for a key 3-point bucket. So, and he's also playing like a superstar. I mean, I could probably only count 5 power forwards that I would rank above him at the moment in the NBA. So even though they're not, the bona fide superstars that you want and need on a team to contend, at the moment, they're playing like they are. So if the rest of the roster stays connected and keeps playing the right way and keeps defending, and then we get Mitch back, I mean, what's going to happen with the Nets? I mean, when KD comes back, is he going to want who knows? For all we know, KD gets traded tomorrow. We don't know. But the Nets are going to be good and competitive without Kyrie, but they definitely have taken a step down without Kyrie. There's no doubt. There's just no doubt. Can the Knicks beat the Nets, in a 7-game series? At the moment, I mean, with KD, I don't know. I wouldn't say no. The Sixers, I know everyone's jacked up about the Sixers, but we busted their 8-game win streak. I mean, I guess in a 7-game series, that one I see a little harder for us to come out with to steal a playoff series. But again, you just never know. Brunson brings a confidence to the team that we just have not had. I think it helps other players believe in themselves as well, and they feel safer. They feel like, oh wow, when we desperately need a bucket, this guy can get it for us. It's just something we just have not had since Carmelo. I mean, that's just the truth. We haven't had a guy who was a guaranteed bucket when we absolutely had to have it, like Carmelo Anthony. Jalen Brunson is now that guy. And then we have a young core. We have an exciting young core. Grimes. That guy's still ascending. He's still learning. RJ. The same. Can say the same for him. Look at Deuce. Deuce is starting to make a few buckets. Look at my favorite player, Emmanuel Quickley. Emmanuel Quickley has now become probably the best sixth man in the NBA. Probably. He's in the argument. He's in the discussion for it. And then there is the clutch player of the year or something, or it's a new award. Brunson's in the running for that. So we've got some quality players. For all we know, by this time next week, Brunson is also an all-star selection to fill the roster spots. So then the Knicks will have 2 all-stars. A lot has changed. A lot has changed recently, and I am very happy about it. Let's see. What do we got else going here? Who wrote LOL Oprah? Elite Hunters writes, front office giving away first-round picks like Oprah. You got a first-round pick, and you got a first-round pick. You got a first-round pick. Man. Well, I think it's a good hedge. It's a little bit of a gamble, but Hart is a quality player, dude. You guys, I mean, Hart can start on most teams in the NBA. He's definitely would be the main guy coming off the bench for a lot of the other teams that he wouldn't start for. So this is a high quality pickup. The more that I run through it in my head, I got to give this trade. I'll give this trade an A-, only because it did require attaching a first-round pick to Cam Reddish, which we had to use a first-round pick to even get Cam Reddish. So in that respect, that's a negative hit. But Josh Hart is a bona fide starter in the NBA and a really plus defensive and a defensive stalwart and a tenacious rebounder and a playmaker. So all those things have been upgraded right now. I like it. And again, he's a good character guy. This is a nice one. What's up? Hey, we got Dice Ladi. What's up, brother? Peace from Paris. Salute. Oh, man, great for joining us here. Oh, yeah, we started up late. It's probably in the morning in Paris right now. Let's see. Pudge Nice says, we have 100 of them. Y'all pods are reaching with this pick. Hart is Adrian Sean Dyson says Hart is a top rebounding guard. Yep, totally. Let's see. I saw something else. Drew Reviews Music. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Shout out anybody else. You guys, thank you guys so much for joining me here in a special late night breaking news edition. We have over 280 in the chat right now. I'm very proud of what the Knicks have done today. They actually did something. They did exactly what actually I had asked for. If you guys are regulars to the channel, I toss things around, and sometimes I like to talk things through. But as I was watching what the team was becoming, I didn't even want to get. I don't want to even trade Obi. I think Obi is a key piece to this, and even though he doesn't get the minutes he needs, he might benefit right now with a Hart on in the rotation with him if Hart comes off the bench, and I think he will in the very beginning. So I think this is going to help Obi. Look at that bench, Obi, Quickly, Deuce, and now Josh Hart and Isaiah Hartenstein. That's a nice bench right there. I do think that Thibs, if you weren't here in the beginning, I think he probably, this is what my feelings are. I think he's going to expand the rotation from 9 to 10 at first because he's not going to want to disrupt what he has that's working right now. It would be foolish of him to do that. So, and especially in lieu of what we just saw against the Sixers, it was the bench. The bench helped us win that game. So I think he's going to feel it around a little bit. Some guys might see a few less minutes here and there, but I think for at least until about a week after the All-Star break, that's when we'll probably start seeing the rotation settle in. And maybe at that point, Thibs might shorten it down to 9. And unfortunately, it might mean that Deuce is the one that ends up on the outside looking in. I hope not, because I really love the development that we've seen from Deuce recently, and it only comes from minutes. Look, there was a time when we were thinking Deuce can't make a bucket in this league, and now look what he's been doing lately. He went through a nice 7 of 11 stretch from the three-point line, and his defense is just something to behold. So let's see how this thing goes. I am very positive on this. I give it an A-. It is sad to see Cam go, but it was sad to see Cam sit. It was really nauseating, actually, especially when we could have used him many, many times. So now we finally, now there was a need for a Cam, but Thibs refused to play him. So now that need still exists, but now Thibs has a player that he will play. So this is a benefit. We've definitely upped our situation right now. Let's see what else. Jaylen Brown is out of the All-Star game. Is that confirmed? I know he got hurt. I was watching the game. Interesting. No, Brunson has to get the nod. I mean, who else? Brunson has to get the nod. MH says RJ's minutes will be cut. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think so. I think all the panic about RJ is way premature. Way premature. So I wouldn't count on that. But if RJ continues to struggle defensively and he's not making buckets, then yes, something could change. But the thing about RJ is, he has that fire in his belly. He wants to be the man. So I don't see him letting himself drop off offensively. And also, right now, he's finishing at a very high level right now for him. He's at a career high right now. And his three-point shot, even though of the two previous games before, previous games, I think he had missed 15 in a row or something like that. And then, look, boom, he hit 2 in crunch time there in the fourth quarter. I think he'll come out firing. This could also light a fire under his belly, like I said earlier, the same for Grimes. Not that Grimes needed a fire lit under his belly, but you want to have guys looking over their shoulder a little bit. They have to feel like they have to keep earning their spot every day. That I think that's it doesn't work for all types of players. For some players, it makes them unravel. But guys like Grimes and RJ, I think it makes them, it will make them better. That's my feeling on them. Let's see. 17 in a row. Yes, he missed 17 in a row. But we've seen it in the past. So it's not like, and before that, from December 1st until about 2 weeks ago. So for a 7-week stretch, no, about an 8-week stretch. Yes, about an 8-week stretch, RJ was averaging 42% from the three-point line. And that was during our hot streak. So he was a key reason. He was a key reason why we were able to go on that hot streak. Yes, he was injured for some part of it, but he was a key contributor. So don't bail on our Broadway Barrett yet. Let's see what else. MH says Cam Reddish picks turning into second round because of Charlotte's miserable season. Oh yeah, yeah. That makes sense. All right, so the final determination. Do we like the Josh Hart trade? Yes, 186 people have voted, and 81% say yes. All right, and those that don't like it, I'm curious if you didn't like it. If you didn't like it, explain. Tell me, like, did you not like it because? And if you don't want to go public with it, you can send me a DM or whatever on Twitter or whatever. If you didn't like it because it might disrupt the rotation, that's a very valid concern because right now we have a nice combination going. So that definitely, I could see that being a reason to not like this trade for fear of that, because it is going to impact it at some point. It definitely will. I saw somebody wrote something about Rose. NASA from NYC says Rose probably getting traded tomorrow, right? I think so. And I think it's really comes down to the Bucks. That's the only place I've heard. So I think so. They said they want to get him to a team that he can play on. Yeah, I can see him come. Hey, look. I wonder if this means Grayson Allen is out. Because Grayson Allen and Josh Hart are similar type players. They're wings, except Grayson Allen is a much superior three-point shooter. That guy's a 40% three-point shooter. So I wouldn't, honestly, we're 23rd in the NBA right now in three-point shooting. I would not have any problem with adding an additional three-point shooter. Now, we already have one. His name is Evan Fournier. So if Thibs is willing to use him in spot situations, hey, by the way, Thibs is totally evolving. I've been asking for him to, find situational moments to use players to tap into their skill sets, and he's finally doing it. He's even doing substitutions, offense for defense. Last night, he got 3 bigs on the free throw line to get the rebound. He's finally figuring it out. I don't know why it took him so long, but I think he should, he's had teams. The Bulls team that he had, they just had superior talent, outstanding talent. So when you have, Joakim Noah and Derrick Rose and guys of that high quality, Luol Deng, you just run them, you go with those horses because no one else is going to come close to those guys. But we're not in that situation. We need to be more careful with our minutes so that our quality guys are their best version of themselves when the game is on the line. That's one of the major issues that I've had with Thibs, is that he just kind of like burns them out, and then they have nothing left in the fourth quarter. We were even seeing it from Brunson previously, about 3 weeks back or so. It was a lot of ISO stuff at the end, no ball movement, and we lost. We lost several games that way. So he's beginning to evolve, thankfully, for us as the fans. Let's hope it keeps going. And also I heard, actually, Lee said on KOT yesterday, he mentioned that he heard that Thibs is now listening to Johnny Bryant a little more on offense. So that's a big plus. If that is true, and it does feel like it's true, that's a big plus. I loved hearing that. Thibs the grinder, right. And he's trying to figure out a way to not grind his players down as much as he has been. All right. Well, this has been a great show. You guys, awesome chat. Hey, I see Leighton Griffiths in there. Brian Buckley. Yoo-hoo. Knicks will still have 2 open roster spots. Yes, I'd like to see an additional 3-point shooter. And I'd like to see a real bona fide stretch big brought onto this roster to give us more tools to work with. Especially when we go up against those long teams like the Toronto Raptors, like the Milwaukee Bucks. We need length to deal with them, but we need length that can shoot, or else they're just dead spots out there on the floor. Because we already have the guys who can drive. I mean, it's tough for the NBA defenses to stop Brunson and even RJ. RJ gets to the basket. So, and then Randall. You know, when he's in control, when he doesn't get the ball out too far out, and he's more on the go, when he's on a run, and we get him the ball, he's nearly unstoppable. Yes, thank you guys so much. Mo Bamba would be perfect. I would not mind Mo Bamba and Grayson Allen being brought to this team. So if we need to trade Rose to the Bucks to get Grayson Allen, and trade, I guess it would have to be. Would Fournier be up for a return to the Magic? The Magic could sure use 3-point shooting. It would make their lives much easier. They need to. They're a quality, scrappy team. They have been in the last 30 games. They've been like a 500 team in the last 30 games. You saw how competitive they were last night. If they had some real dependable 3-point shooting on that team, it would make it'd be better for the team themselves. Because it's one thing to learn how to play, how to win, but if you're completely handicapped every single night where you have no snipers, it's tough. So maybe Fournier goes down there, it's a return back home for him, and we get Mo Bamba in exchange. I'm sure other pieces will have to be added to make that work for the money. Actually, I don't even think the money can work. They'd have to add some more pieces. Well, possibly could. They can make it work. They can make anything work nowadays in the NBA. It's crazy. I'm very pleased. This was a nice addition, and it's going to be interesting to see how Thibs handles the minutes in the beginning. But again, I think he's going to be cautious at first, especially Hart has never played. I mean, he's never played for Thibs, so it's going to take a little while to learn the defensive scheme and then learn the offense itself. So I think he's going to bring him along slowly, but I think he's going to have a very positive impact. I hope so. And you see him right there with his championship buddy. He has championship bloodline right there. We just added another guy who is a winner. He's a winner, and he battles for rebounds. I love that about him. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Hey, stay tuned. Look, subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. Just turn it on now, because who knows? In the morning, boom, some more news may happen. So, I'll jump on live again, and don't want you guys to miss it. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Lex the Destroyer. Best mod around. Love you, man. Love the support. Really appreciate it deeply. We got Thrifty by Nature in the house. What's up, brother? Let's see. Yeah, that's true. But Fournier is not the defender that Grayson is. That's why. Let's see. Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey is still out there, guys. Sadiq Bey is still out there. We shall see. It's a good time to be a Knicks fan right now. Knicks are in 6th place right now, 30-26. Or 30-26? 30-20. Yeah, 30-26, so 4 games over 500. We play the Sixers on Friday. So that is going to be huge. I think we go down to Philadelphia to play them. Yep. It's an early start. It's a 7 o'clock start there. And then we play the Jazz at home on Saturday, and that's a 7:30 start. We could, man, Can you imagine if we go down to the Philly and take that game? Ooh. I'm not going to say we can't, and I'm not going to say we will. But it's possible. It's possible. And then we have the Jazz. Be nice. Pick up 2 wins. 2 huge wins. That'd be awesome. Then we'd be 32-26. That's where I want. That sounds better. That sounds about where I want us to be. All right. What do you say? Knicks just traded for Bay? What the hell? Let me check this. No, I didn't get the alert. Let's see here. You're messing with me. You're messing with me, Thrifty. Well, trade deadline is 12 hours from now. No. 15 hours from now. Sorry. Trade deadline is 15 hours from now. Be interesting. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button for me. Drop your comments. Love those so much. And I think Leon did a nice move today. Did a nice move. I think, and also, I think Cam's going to get a chance in Portland. So this is a win-win for the players. Hart gets to come here. He's going to play in a style of play that he's going to benefit in. And but definitely he needs to take open threes. He needs to work on that three-point shot. And Cam is now going to Portland, where he will get a chance to play there and show his stuff. And it would be great because I want to see him do well. I want to see him do well. You know, he's got to earn, and the only way he can earn is if he play. So I hope that happens. He's out of the Thibs doghouse, and now he's with Chauncey Billups and Dame Lillard, and hopefully they can actually turn him into something. Because I've always been high on him, and always been somewhat disappointed by him at the same time. It's been one of those situations with him. All right, thank you so much for watching this. I will see you guys around